Ladies and gents, welcome back. Bill C-21 is a piece of legislation that's being put forward in Canada to ban, well, it was originally meant to ban handguns, but then an amendment was put through as well to ban a whole a litany of other firearms in Canada, ones which you'd be surprised you may have in your closet. You may have it in your gun safe. You may have it passed down to you from your grandpa. Some of these are just, it's unbelievable how some of these made the list, and I'll get to the list soon enough, but I wanted to first bring you to, well, the passive aggressive. I know it's hard to stomach, it's hard to watch. Passive aggressive meeting place that we know as Parliament, where they speak to a speaker rather than speaking and addressing each other directly. But this is the leader of the opposition, Pierre, directly questioning Trudeau about why is it that they're banning people's hunting equipment.
Speaking of difficult times, this Prime Minister's policies have given us a 32% increase in violent crime, a 90% increase in gang crime. Murder rates now rising again this year, year after year. And what's his solution? To ban Grandpa Joe's hunting rifle. In fact, he wants to ban hundreds of thousands of hunting rifles and spend hundreds of millions of dollars doing it. Why won't he leave hunters alone and go after the real criminals?
Here, here, here. The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we've been very clear that we are not targeting law-abiding hunters and fishers. We're not going after shotguns or rifles. We have banned military-style assault weapons, and unfortunately, conservative politicians continue to mislead Canadians, to base things on fear, and to be focused on making assault weapons legal again in this country. Mr. Speaker, we will continue.
Mr. Speaker, can you just cut through the BS? Well, let's cut through the BS ourselves here. So I have an article from the National Post here, and it's the Liberals say we're not trying to ban hunting rifles. Here's why. That's a lie. This is actually a lie. Do these look like assault military style weapons here? No, I don't think so. We got here a lever action, a bolt action, and a semi-automatic shotgun. This is unbelievable how they could say this and there's no recourse for it. Last week, the Liberals quietly introduced an amendment to a piece of gun control legislation that would ban thousands of Canadian hunting arms, constituting the largest single gun ban in Canadian history. After the amendment became public, the public safety minister, Marco Mendicino, Pinocchio himself, announced that he had no intention whatsoever of banning the hunting rifles or long guns. The problem is Mendicino's claims aren't true at all. Even a cursory look at the list quickly reveals that it's chock full of purpose-built hunting arms, many of which likely never been near a battlefield or a crime scene in the last 100 years. Well, let's just have a look at some of these. So this first one on the list to hit the list is Ruger number 1. The Ruger number 1 is a hunting rifle. It's as hunting rifle-y as they come, it says. If you were looking to hold up a liquor store, basically your worst option. It's a single shot, meaning you fire it once, and then you have to fumble around in your pocket for another cartridge to manually load it into the gun's chamber. And then, and if you like scary looking black rifles with pistol grips, I'm afraid this one only comes in wood. This is unbelievable. So yeah, it's, oh goodness. Mossberg 702 Plinkster Tactical. Yeah, you heard the name right. The Plinkster, as the name Plinkster suggests. This is a low caliber gun typically used to teach children how to shoot for hunting or for plinking. And when we're saying hunting, we're not talking big game or anything with this gun. If you're unfamiliar with guns, a .22 long rifle is not a very powerful one. It's about it's an air rifle essentially. It's a black powder. It's a not black powder. It's a gunpowdered power rifle, air rifle essentially. And there's a lot of air rifles that actually outshoot this thing. No joke. It's a .22 caliber, which means it has the same firepower as the gunpowder activated concrete hammer that you can buy at Home Depot. No joke. Yeah, they actually use blank 22 long rifle cartridges, rimfires for that. Wesley Richards model 1897. This gun is also chambered in 22 caliber ammunition, which means it's only really intended to shoot squirrels or pigeons. Oh, come on. Look at this thing. I don't even think they make this thing anymore. What does it say here? One of the reasons the shooter was so easily taken down was because all he could get was his hands on was a lever action rifle. Talking about the Parliament Hill shootings. And this is what the police had said, that it was because he only had a lever action that it made it easier to take him down. Like many of the guns on this list, the Wesley Richards is also a high value antique. Let's just say not a lot of gun crimes are being committed with a $7,000 varmint gun manufactured from the 19th century. Why is this even on the list? Unbelievable. Lots of other slow to fire hunting guns. We have a bolt action rifle here. Another surprise amendment to Bill C-21 tabled last week effectively proposed to ban semi-automatic firearms, guns that automatically reload after each pull of the trigger. This is ostensibly to make it harder for a would-be gun criminal to squeeze off a lot of rounds in quick succession. But the amendments also liberally proposed to ban hunting rifles that use bolt or levers to manually reload between shots. This includes the Winchester Model 54, a Kimber 89 African, and Montana Rifle 1999. That's what's more, these are not military rifles that become popular as hunting arms. They were explicitly designed and marketed as hunting rifles. It's just unbelievable. Some of these other ones. Here's a breech loader shotgun. A breech loader shotgun from way back in the day. Really old. Again, breech loader. There's not a lot of breech loaders in violent gun crime going on in our inner cities. Some extraordinary, rare, single-shot Italian glamour guns. You thought they were done banning single-shot hunting arms? What is this? The Consari is a niche Italian manufacturer of interlacing engraved wood stock hunting guns. Not only does this cost around 5 figures to get one, but many of their guns are single shot. Nonetheless, 3 Consari models were explicitly named in Bill C-21's amendment. Why? This is straight up. You have to open it up, put another cartridge in, and then it's go time with a fancy gun that would cost you a lot of money. Again, duck guns. We have a popular gun for using with trap shooting. Like, this is what they're going after. People who shoot competition trap shooting. An elite shotgun designed to shoot wood pigeons. The Benelli Black Eagle competition, as his name suggests, is a fancily etched gun intended for trap shooting competitions. Wow, amazing. And this is our Prime Minister. Oh, that's so funny. In other news, what else is there to see here? Now, Pierre Poilievre was in an interview with Andrew Lawton that just aired just yesterday, last night, and he spoke to Bill C-21 in that interview, and I'll play a little clip here for you.
Is this an amendment that you would oppose? And C-21 in general, if this is law by the time you become Prime Minister, if that happens, would it be repealed?
So I oppose both Bill C-21 and the amendments that they most recently brought in. The idea that we should, this amendment, by the way, effectively bans hundreds of thousands, if not millions of Canadians, millions of firearms that are in Canada today that are used for hunting. These are hunting rifles and hunting shotguns. And so they're, as Raquel Dancho, our public safety critic, said, they're going after Grandpa Joe and his rifle, right?
Yeah.
And there's no science behind this. There's no evidence that the massive increase in violent crime in our inner cities is the result of people in the country using hunting rifles or shotguns. So obviously conservatives oppose that, and we'd repeal it. And I would replace this approach with I put in place a committee of cops, border guards, licensed and law-abiding First Nations hunters, anglers, and sport shooters who can put together serious, clear criteria to determine how a firearm is classified. You know, the old machine guns and traditional, the firearms that were banned back in the 70s, obviously those should stay banned. But those that are appropriate for use in hunting and recreational sport shooting should be classified accordingly. And my approach would be to put that right in law, so it's very clear, and the government and the politicians can't constantly and suddenly change the rules at great cost both to the lawful property owner, but also to the taxpayer. That's the other thing that no one's talking about, is that if they're going to do a buyback of all these hunting rifles, we could be talking about billions of dollars. And for what?
Yeah.
Like, there's no public safety benefit to taking hunting rifles away from people in the countryside. Why not take the same money, bolster the borders, keep out the smuggled guns that are leading to the killings in our urban settings?
Turning to Alberta for
All right. Well, that's the leader of the opposition talking about this gun. Just like, what is this? It's a blanket ban of legally acquired property, and that's what this is, and it's ridiculous. There's no rhyme or reason for the list of guns that they have. They claim that it's one thing. They were claiming that it's center fire, semi-automatic in function things, but we see here that that's not the case. These aren't the guns that are being banned. They're clearly going after rural people, farmers, hunters, people who just in none of these guns have ever been used in crime. So, well, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about this before this video goes too long. I'm going to sign off, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trekking.